Welcome to Joy This Moment. I'm your host and coach, Mevy Ahmed, here to open hearts and transform minds so you can live your best life as your most joyous and successful self. So let's dive into this episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Joy This Moment. I'm your host and coach, Mevy Ahmed, here to open hearts and transform minds so you can live in a state of joy and success and be the happiest person you know. So essentially, I'm here to help you be happy. Yay! Okay, so super excited because there is a lot happening at Mevy HQ. I don't know if you've noticed, but the podcast artwork has changed. So I felt I need to spruce things up a little bit to go with my new branding as I launch my new business. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've been talking about being a podcaster and a coach for some time. I mean, this is episode 13, right? And you've been with me at the start of this journey in the last few months. And if you're new here, hello, you're joining me at a very exciting time. And I know I've been talking about setting up my business or being in process of setting up my business, but when you finally set a date for a launch party, that's when you know it's becoming real. So I've been working on my website, super excited with the new logo. I think it's like my best work of art. Super excited with the new logo. I've set up a Facebook page. It's just becoming more and more official, and we have a date. So I'm here to is it cordially or cordinelli? I can't really remember the word, but I'm here to formally invite you to my launch party Tuesday the 22nd of December at 6 p.m. Do I even remember the right time? It's either 6 or 7 p.m. Geesh. 6 or 7 p.m. I'll be going live on Facebook and Instagram. So I'll be going live on my Instagram page at Mev's Moments, and I'll be going live on my Facebook page, which is at Your Moment with Mevy. Because apparently Mev's Moments was taken, and I was like, who else is a Mev's Moments out there? I mean, maybe I should have trademarked that. But anyway, I'll be going live on my Facebook and Instagram to talk about everything I've been up to so far and share my journey of mindset transformation plus why I got into this. So if you've been following me on the podcast, you've got a really good inkling of why I've been doing this, but I think it's really nice to put an actual face to a name? I'm forgetting that saying as well. It would be really nice to see you there, all right? And I would also like to share a live trick or two so that you at least walk away with something that you can apply to your mindset right away and remove any limiting belief that you may have that might be stopping you from achieving the success you want in any of the 6 to 7 areas of life. So I'll be going over a bit more of that during the live launch. So yeah, pop on over, right? Make sure you bring your favorite cake. I'm thinking of running a cake competition. Yeah, like bring your favorite cake. We'll have a little bit of a competition on who's got the best cake, and of course a party popper or two. I mean, Christmas cracker would be fine as well. It is 2 days before Christmas. We might as well get the party started. So yes, you are joining me on the pre-party. So I will see you there live on Facebook or Instagram or both on Tuesday the 22nd in the evening. I will put the actual time in the show notes so that we all know what time we need to be there. Well done, Mev. Oh gosh. So yeah, I've been busy preparing for that, and this week I've got a bunch of trainings on how to learn how to do a live launch, because let me tell you what, I'm actually really scared. Like I'm scared of doing this whole thing live. And it's really interesting because I'm someone who really enjoys performing, and I actually love public speaking. And I have been, I've been live on BBC Parliament doing a speech in House of Lords. I've been featured in the press, like on in BBC Radio Norfolk a few years ago, and also the Eastern Daily Press, like when I used to be really active in my youth work years. So being visible and being out there is something that isn't new to me. So it was really interesting that when I was thinking about going live, I could literally feel the fear running through my body. I could feel a huge sense of anxiety, from performance anxiety to this actual fear of being seen. And I was like, well, I'm used to presenting, right? I've just said that I've done various presentations, and in fact, I've done big presentations in front of audiences up to 1,000 people. So how is this any different? And it is different. I've just never gone live on Facebook and Instagram. That's new. So anytime we want to do something new, our brain sees that as a threat. So my brain was perceiving going live as a threat, and therefore the anxiety response is a physiological response, is anxiety, that feeling shaky, feeling, I used to feel like anxiety in my stomach when I had like generalized anxiety disorder, which is something I will talk about in another episode, because that's a really interesting story of how I overcame anxiety. But I do feel anxiety as an emotion, right? So whenever you have to do something new, it's normal to feel that bit of anxious. But I was feeling that sense of fear. So unpacking it, I realized it's a fear of being seen. Because every time you try to do something new, that fear will always be there, because my brain currently doesn't know what's on the other side. So right now, my brain's like, okay, Mev, we're going to go do this Facebook Live. We're going to talk about our business and what we've been doing so far. But what next? Are people going to laugh at me? Are people going to hate on me? Are people going, like, how are people going to respond? And that's the thing, right? We don't like putting ourselves out there because it is a risk, right? It's a risk, and that's what makes it scary. But I feel the risk is worth it. As a business who wants to be a virtual business online, and it's my dream to have time, location, financial freedom, and it's my dream to have an online business, I have to get that right mindset to support my life goals. So this morning, I was fortunate enough to tap into a training on how to become more visible. And what's happened here? Sorry, I thought it stopped recording for a second, and then it did. So I just had to restart it. Sorry about that. So, what was I saying? Oh gosh, lost my train of thought for a moment. Just give me a sec. Yes, fear of visibility. So this morning, tuning into a fear of visibility training, and as we were going through some of the common subconscious belief systems, because bearing in mind, 3 to 5% of our brain, 3 to 5% of our mind is conscious, so conscious whatever's in our active awareness, and 95 to 97% of our brain is subconscious. So all of our belief systems, emotions, all of our bodily automations, like the brain is an efficient machine that loves to automate. So there's a lot of stuff that is majority of our mind, majority of our thinking is not really in our awareness, right? So as we were looking at the subconscious belief systems buried deep within our mind, on what's going on beneath that fear of being visible, that fear of being seen, the fear of not being want to be out there, there was a thing that was called visibility wounds, which are again linked to childhood. Anything you experience between the ages of 2 to 8 and 11, sort of anything you experience there that's been imprinted onto your mind, those are childhood wounds. So the ones that were specific for visibility, that came up were imposter syndrome. And that's really, really interesting because I did not make the connection before the training between imposter syndrome, that feeling of feeling like a fraud, feeling like you don't know enough, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like whatever you do, it's nothing really feels right. So yeah, that imposter syndrome and the fear of visibility. But then when you start thinking about it, it does make sense because if you're feeling a bit like a fake, why would you want to go out there and bring attention to yourself, right? So the question is, okay, why am I feeling like an imposter? When clearly I'm so passionate about mindset transformation work and I talk about it non-stop. In fact, I think I'm driving my mother crazy because all I talk about is beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and patterns, and how we need to change our beliefs in order to create the life that we want. And I talk about that on tap, and I reframe my own beliefs the minute I pick something up, and I reprogram my mind as I go along. So I'm passionate about this, right? So why do I feel like an imposter? And I was talking to a few other coach entrepreneurs about this, and it's actually very normal. It's very normal when you're trying to set up your coaching business that you feel like an imposter because you're starting something new. So here's the thing, because you're starting something new, you're not expected to know everything. By the time you know how to fully run a business, it's too late in the game, right? The best way to learn something is to just do it, and you just learn as you go along. That's the best way to actually start a business. You start with an idea, but if you knew everything from marketing to sales to run all the ins and outs of a business, then as largely the case, if you knew everything, you would have kind of already done it by now. But that's the beauty of the journey, because the end result for me isn't just having a coaching business, but it's the person that I'm becoming on that way, everything that I'm picking up. So this is everything that we're doing here, all this mindset work. This is the fun part, right? And every time I have an aha moment, I'm like, wow, I had no idea I had this crappy belief in my head. So feeling like a fraud feels very, very normal when you're in a new job or a new environment and you just don't know what the expectations sometimes are. And a few of my coach entrepreneurs have also felt the same. So that's a little bit of reassurance. But the way to overcome that is constantly remind yourself, and this is the reframe that I've been using, which is why I'm feeling even more excited to go live on Facebook and Instagram to talk about my business. And the reframe is, I feel amazing for being able to truly share my light with the world. How empowering is that? I feel amazing to be able to share my genius with the world. Because guess what, guys? We're all geniuses. We all have a zone of genius. We all have so much knowledge and wisdom and experience to share. So why do we feel like a fraud? And at its core, there is a sense of comparison. Because when I look at other coaches who are doing similar things as me, but in different areas, I just feel like, wow, they're doing all this really cool stuff. Should I be posting like them on Instagram and Facebook? Should I be doing what they're doing? And then you have to take a deep breath and realize that, hang on, those women are amazing. but they're kind of 5 years ahead of where I am. And I bet you, rewind 5 years, they were exactly where I was. Like, a bit like a headless chicken. So that's great, because in 5 years, that could be me. Or it could be sooner. I don't know, right? But I feel very inspired. I feel very motivated. And I feel very blessed that in just in a 2 weeks' time, I'll be sharing everything that I'm doing with the world. Because here's the thing, even though I started this podcast, I did not tell what I was doing to a lot of my friends on Facebook. And I remember a few years ago when I started my products business, within a week we had all of the products lined up, on the photos taken, website, had all the social media, like everything was done. And I didn't think twice about it. And I literally just told everyone, whoever asked me what I was doing, I was like, yeah, I'm selling ethnic scarves and fashion accessories. Here's a website. Like, it would just roll off my tongue. It wasn't an issue at all. But when it comes to talking about my coaching business, that's where I feel a little awkward. So I dug deeper in this. And it's because the products didn't really need a face as a brand. So even though I was doing all the work, it wasn't me who was visible. It was the products. It was the scarves. It was the bangles. It was the accessories. And I was writing funky stuff about them, and yeah, they were selling. But now it is my face on there. It is me. I'm creating myself as the brand. So that's that is becoming more visible, right? I'm no longer just behind the scenes typing away on funky posts, but actually showing up so that people can see a face to a business. So it is a step up. And I did not think about this step up beforehand. I was like, yeah, I ran a business before. I can do this again, right? No brainer. No. There is a shift, because I've felt that shift in my body. I felt the anxiety and the fear in my body. But it's because I questioned that fear. I was like, why? Why is this showing up right now? What is the difference? What is the difference? And by questioning and journaling on that why, I eventually got to my answer, which is the fear of invisibility mixed with imposter syndrome. So, oh gosh, I am really, really excited to be going live, and I would like you to be there to just see this wonderful face and bring some cake and have a little bit of fun, all right? If you would like some one-to-one support on busting your mindset fears, do get in touch, right? I am looking for 5 clients and offering really low-cost coaching. This is because I want to get a few testimonials and feedback on what I'm doing, and I will be incorporating the new tools I'm learning through NLP training and hypnosis, so you'll get access to fresh training, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, if you need some help, get in touch. Also, it'd be great if you can drop a review on iTunes. I spoke to Apple Podcasts this week, and my podcast is now on iTunes. Fingers crossed, it should still be there. Unless, if you can't find it, do let me know. But drop a review on iTunes. And if you can't drop a review of any other platforms, please take a screenshot, tag me on Mev's Moments. If you've had an aha moment or any feedback that you'd like to offer me, that would be great. Okay, so I hope to see you on Tuesday the 22nd in my coaching business launch party. Until then, no, not until then, I will be back next week. We'll be back next week. See you in the next one. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Joy This Moment. I'm truly grateful to each and every one of you for tuning in week on week to listen to yours truly. If you feel that you've had an aha moment or would like to drop some feedback, take a screenshot of this episode, tag me at Mev's Moments on Instagram, or you can email me at hello@thisisyourmoment.co.uk, and I would love to send you my Monday magical mindset meditation as a little token of my appreciation for you dropping that review. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.